Let's turn our attention to one of the functions within Google NotebookLM, taking and organizing notes. It's a feature that may initially seem secondary, but in reality, it plays a central role in how you process, retain, and work with information. Whether you're engaging with complex academic material or trying to keep multiple sources aligned for a project, the quality of your note-taking will often determine how well you're able to synthesize ideas and move forward in your thinking. Most of us have experienced the frustration of looking back over disorganized notes and asking ourselves, what exactly was I trying to capture here? We'll begin with the chat panel, which functions as your primary point of interaction with the AI. This is where you ask questions, clarify concepts, and prompt the system to summarize or compare content from your uploaded documents. Importantly, all responses are drawn solely from the sources you provide. There's no web search or external material involved. This makes it particularly valuable in research or teaching contexts where accuracy, scope, and citation control matter. You might ask something like, what are the author's main arguments in this policy report? Or, how does the tone of this editorial compare to the academic analysis I uploaded? The AI interprets your request and responds with grounded, document-specific insight. As you go through this process, you'll often come across responses worth keeping, perhaps a particularly clear summary, a strong quote, or a useful comparison. When that happens, the Add Note function allows you to save that content immediately. Notes can be renamed, tagged, and annotated to reflect how you intend to use them later. In practice, this becomes less about simply storing information and more about actively organizing your thinking. Over time, your notes evolve into a curated collection of key insights. Once you've gathered a number of notes, you may find it helpful to step back and engage with them differently. This is where the audio overview feature comes in. It generates a spoken summary of your notebook's content, which can be played back in your preferred language. While it might seem like a small addition, this function has real value, particularly when you want to revisit material away from the screen or share your findings with others in a more accessible format. It's especially useful in multilingual environments or for learners who prefer auditory input. Another advanced tool worth highlighting is the mind map. This feature takes your collected notes and presents them as a dynamic, visual network of connected ideas. It's designed to help you see patterns, relationships, and thematic clusters that might not be obvious when looking at notes in list form. For example, if you've been studying educational reform, the mind map might visually link sources on policy, classroom practice, and student feedback, allowing you to see how these elements overlap. It's a tool that invites structural thinking, making it easier to plan written outputs or presentations based on your collected material. As an exercise, I recommend uploading a short article or briefing, asking the AI to identify the core themes and saving each of those as a note. Then generate an audio overview and listen to the key takeaways as you go about another task. Finally, open the mind map and reflect on how your ideas are organized visually. This process will give you a strong sense of how each feature works in concert and how they can support your work both practically and conceptually. By combining the chat, add note, audio overview, and mind map tools, you move beyond passive reading. In this lesson, we explored how note-taking in NotebookLM becomes more than just collecting information. It becomes a way to actively shape your understanding. From engaging with content through the chat panel to saving, organizing, and listening to notes via audio overview or viewing them as interconnected concepts in a mind map, each feature works together to support clarity and deeper thinking. Next, we'll look at how to use these same tools to generate smarter, more focused summaries and uncover meaningful insights from your materials.